This is RHM for RHM Movie Reviews. Now, this is continuing phase 3 of the Marvel movies. Before I did, one last movie of phase 2, and then the rest of then all of phase 3. Now, according to trivia, AntMan is the last movie in phase 2. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but anyway, it is a great cast, and I found a very interesting thing. I almost forgot about this trivia. As I said, as I said in earlier episodes, you can find trivia for all these movies on imdb.com. That's Internet Movie Database. You can find trivia for all these movies and all the movies I talk about on that website. Or if you have a phone, an iPhone, iPad, or Android phone, or a tablet of some kind, you just have to download the app. That's it. And as I said, the trivia for AntMan that I still find interesting is Michael Douglas, who plays Hank Pym. He wanted his actual wife, Catherine Zeta-Jones, to play his on-screen wife. Now, they had already done one movie beforehand together, but it was separate. The movie was called Traffic. Probably a lot of you know it. But great cast. Little spoiler. For those of you who don't know, the guy who plays Paul Rudd's character's friend, the Latino, is actually from Chicago, Illinois. So he is from Illinois. And this is actually really, as I said, great cast. And as far as I know, with most of the MCU movies that don't include the Spider-Man movies, you can find almost all of them now on Disney Plus. They're just missing one movie, and that's it. All right, next one. Supposedly, this started phase 3. This is Captain America: Civil War. Now, those who were actually introduced in this movie is a great cast. As you can tell by the cover, it was Captain America versus Iron Man. They both had their own teams. On Captain America's team, you had Winter Soldier, you had Falcon, you had Scarlet Witch. I forgot who else, but they had equal amount, same number team members on each side. Because on Iron Man's side, it was Hawkeye on Captain America's team. On Iron Man's team, it was Black Widow, Black Panther, and in this movie, Black Panther is introduced. If I remember, Vision, Iron Patriot, which is really in an Iron Man suit. And the new young actor to play Spider-Man, and that is Tom Holland. He is as far as I know, he is the youngest actor to play Spider-Man. I think he's done well. He and the guy who plays Black Panther do a very good job at playing their characters. And you may not know this, but the guy who plays Black Panther, his on-screen dad, if you don't know it, when you watch the live action version of Lion King, he is the voice of Rafiki. So Rafiki is in Captain America: Civil War. Well, the new version of Rafiki. Anyway, all right. The next one is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. And when you watch this, you will be surprised that, well, not only is, yes, Sylvester Stallone's in the movie playing, as far as I'm concerned, it's a minor role. It's a very small role for him. But the real topper is the fact that Kurt Russell plays a villain. I never actually seen him play a villain before. I've seen him play a superhero, voice a dog, a bloodhound dog. But besides that, I've never seen him play an actual villain before. And watching him play the villain in this movie, it was something. Alright, the next one, Doctor Strange. Now this has an amazing cast. And you watch, I think it's the first Easter egg for this one. It leads you straight into the third Thor movie. Which, surprisingly enough, in this one, you actually do get to know, well, Odin actually I don't know if it's actually in Norse mythology that Odin had 3 children or 2 children. In this one, you find that out. And of course, actually, one thing you should know about Doctor Strange, that main character is actually sort of based on Vincent Price. His look, the way Vincent Price played his characters. For Thor Ragnarok is a great movie. The cast members are good too. And the Stanley's cameo, it has to be the funniest cameo he's ever done in one of his movies based on his comics. Because it is so hilarious. It is even funnier than his line in, Captain America, and this one's even funnier because you see him with a robotic arm who's going to give Thor a haircut. And it's interesting to see Jeff Goldblum in this movie because he's not really the villain in the movie. He's sort of as far as I can tell, it's more of a secondary villain. Because with most villains, the villain in Thor Ragnarok, who is played by Cate Blanchett, she is supposed to be playing the goddess of war in Norse mythology. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. Please look up your Norse mythology in encyclopedia. Look up mythology, but look up Norse mythology, which is mythology of people from Norway, Sweden, the Netherlands, around that area. And there is a setup at the end of Thor Ragnarok for Avengers Infinity War, the last 2 Avengers movies. There is no setup to this, however. Black Panther, which actually has a great cast. And actually, you should know, as I said in the previous episode, Chris Evans played Giant Storm, aka the Human Torch, in a Fantastic Four movie. Same thing with Michael B. Jordan. In this one, in this MCU movie, he plays a villain. The real villain in the movie. Who kills another villain in the movie. Played by Andy Serkis, who is actually in Avengers Age of Ultron. Now, the guy, Chadwick Boseman does a great job at playing the Black Panther. I know I've never seen anybody else play Black Panther, but I've read my Marvel Encyclopedia and says that. And now, this is something I've saw. It was I guess for the next Black Panther movie, they're supposed to introduce Storm. In my Marvel Encyclopedia that I have, that is based off the comic books, that talks about the comic book versions of all these characters, it actually does say Storm and Black Panther are supposed to be married or in love or something like that. Now, the next two movies are actually sandwiched in between Avengers Infinity War and Endgame. That's Ant-Man and the Wasp. Now, I'm not sure if this has, because actually if you watch the end of Avengers Infinity War, you actually find out that, well, little spoiler, this ends the same way this one ends. So, I'm not sure where to go with that, but the fact that with this, Michelle Pfeiffer is the one who got to play Janet Van Dyne. Janet Pym is really the character's name. And Lawrence Fishburne playing, actually really it's a villain sidekick, because he's helping the main villain, one of the main villains out. The main villain is Ghost, which is interesting, I think. Next one is Captain Marvel, which, as I said, is sandwiched in between Infinity War and Endgame, just to fill it out. This actually takes place in 1995, which, hey, if you watch this, you get to see Blockbuster. And as many of you know, Blockbuster went out of business, and so there's no more Blockbuster anymore. And sad but true, this is dedicated, Captain Marvel is dedicated to the late Stan Lee. I thought for sure there was going to be a dedication to Stan Lee in Endgame, but there's not. And a little spoiler, an Easter egg for Captain Marvel does set up Endgame. For Infinity War and Endgame, both are great movies if you want to, expand your horizon. But it is, as I said, Infinity War has, a little spoiler, Infinity War does have a sad ending. But Endgame has sort of a happier beginning, but not really. But both movies do have a sad ending. I'm not saying who dies or who gets old in Endgame, but I do suggest you watch it, because this time you have all your main characters back by the end of the movie. And interesting enough that Josh Brolin, who's more well known for playing good guys than bad guys, actually does play Thanos in both movies, and he does a good job. Who knew he could actually play a good villain? Because if you've seen his dad do any movies, his dad's always played the good guy. I don't think I've ever seen James Brolin play a bad guy. And I think that's very interesting. And that's it. Next one I'll be talking about, actually it's going to be released Sony Pictures Marvel movies, and then I'll talk about my X-Men movies. So, this is RHM for RHM Movie Reviews, signing on.